There she is, Dave.
Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to start our meeting. This meeting is being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. Annual notice has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the Daily Record. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcements. And a roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Here.
Mr. Falcone, absent. Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Kukovic.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez. Absent.
Nope, she should be online. She should be calling in. She can't unmute, she said. I have no idea, but.
Connecting to audio. Oh, it says she's connecting.
All right, we're good now. Present.
Chris Smith is absent and Mayor Galate.
Here. I also want to acknowledge that we have Councilman-elect with us, also Jonathan Taylor, and we have our CFO Judith Karam with us. Moving along, we have Dan McCarthy here this evening, who is going to speak to us in reference to the Lake Hopatcong Commission as one of their commissioners and Hopatcong's greatest representative.
Oh, about that. Thank you for your time tonight. Good evening, everyone. I was not able to attend the November commission meeting. I believe Mayor Galati attended on my behalf, but I do have some information that's relevant and material. The weed harvesting equipment has been put away for the season. Staff is evaluating what needs to be done in the way of repairs and parts. The other bit of news, I think, which is good, I'm hearing positive reports about the situation in Byram Cove with the presence of the Hopatcong Police Department in their boat. The noise and the trouble seems to have diminished quite a bit compared to the way it was before they were present. So that's very helpful, and hopefully that will continue. The drawdown would normally be underway, but it's actually already low, the level of the lake, because of the drought that we've been having. It stands at 7.46. It really, technically, if you look at the chart that's available on the water level management plan, it should be at level of 8.09. So in any event, it's supposed to be down to 22 inches below the top of the spillway, or the gauge height would be 7.17 feet, and that would be accomplished by December 15th. We're still in this so-called pilot program. They want to see if they can lower the lake less, to see if there's no impact from ice damage or anything like that, harm to structures, because the idea is if they lower the lake less, then we don't have to worry about filling it as much in the spring. But this pilot program has been going on since like 2015, and we haven't had like a real serious winter in a long time. So the pilot program hasn't really been effectively been able to be tested. So it's supposed to be cold this coming month, and if we get a lot of thick ice and so forth, we would encourage lakefront homeowners to report any damage that they may sustain through the state park, and also let us know at the commission so we can monitor the effects of this pilot program. So if you see damage that you haven't seen in the past, let us know. Speaking of the water level management plan, it was updated. There's a link to it on the Lake Hopatcong Commission website. It was last updated in 2011. The state had something in 2011 called the Citizens Advisory Committee, and that was set up and established after we had a problem with a refill after a drawdown, the 5-foot drawdown that year. They kept the gates open longer than they should have. And the water didn't come back. So there was a whole big dust up over that, and Lake Hopatcong Alliance and some local business owners sued, and part of the settlement was that there was supposed to be a citizens advisory committee set up so that local people, participants from the towns, business owners, and people who have an awareness of what goes on with the lake and the water level can advise the state and the state park staff and have participation in the water level management plan, so that bad mistakes of the past don't get repeated, and there's some common sense applied to water level management. So the Citizens Advisory Committee was run by the state. Now they're putting the responsibility to run that operation upon the commission. The Citizens Advisory Committee is just that, it's advisory. The state park superintendent is responsible for the water level. And if there's any questions, or if it gets like a hot political football because there's a water problem or some issue, then it's going to be run by the people in Trenton. So, but we are just an advisory group. I say we as participants on this committee. So at the Lake Hopatcong Commission level, as we look to take over this advisory committee, we're going to be asking the towns to send designated representatives. I believe the most recent representative for the Borough of Hopatcong was Dr. Fred Steinbaum. He also sits on the commission. I'm on the committee as a Lake Hopatcong Commission representative. Before Dr. Steinbaum was on the Citizens Advisory Committee, it was Seth Katz. If you look at the 2011 plan, he was appointed by the borough at the time. So I think you're going to need to look at who it is that you'd like to appoint. And as I said, currently it's Dr. Steinbaum. Lastly, as we approach winter and the ice forms on the lake, we're just going to, just as a public service announcement, we would like people to be mindful to not have aggressive systems. The propeller-driven devices seem to be the source of problems. They can get aggressive, and there's units out there in the market that are several horsepower in size. And people go online, they buy this stuff, they buy big, they put them in, and it churns up all kind of stuff from the bottom. They actually say that these things are detrimental to the lake health because they draw up a lot of muck and sediment from the bottom. So we're really trying to encourage people to put in old-fashioned bubble systems and not keep large swaths of the lake open, because it's like connect the dots. And then before you know it, you could have 3 people in a row that have aggressive systems, and the 10 other people that live nearby can't get out and use the lake. So we're hoping to keep an eye on that and hope people put in the appropriate systems, preferably a bubble system with timers and thermostats, because you only need a small trench, only a couple feet, to keep open so that your dock doesn't suffer ice damage. So that's all I have. Did I miss anything? Is there anything from the meeting that I missed?
No, I think you covered just about everything. I will make a comment that this year I actually had no complaints about Byron Cove, and it was directly because of all of the presence that was there the last year or two, and with Hopatcong being there with their new boat this year. I actually had more complaints about fireworks than I did about Byron Cove, which is probably the first time in history.
Having been on the commission, since 2001, since it was formed, Byron Cove has historically been a real problem. Because you're basically in people's backyards. And what's nice is the cooperation now that we have between the state police and the borough police and the Morris County Sheriff, and it's tremendous. And it didn't exist before, because the question was, well, you call the state police about a noise problem, and the state police would tell you, well, we don't enforce Hopatcong ordinances, and the police would tell you, well, we don't have a boat, we can't get out there, so everybody's doing this, and that has gone away, and it's really, really nice.
It's been wonderful.
So
I could comment on that. I've been in Byron Bay for 30 years, and over the years it got worse, obviously. But in the past 2 years, I noticed a huge amount of difference, especially this year.
Yeah.
And I think just the president alone from Hopatcong Police Department has been very helpful. So hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, I hope so too. And the only other thing that just occurred to me top of mind is when I was here last time, I mentioned the boat races that were about to occur on the main lake. I don't know if anybody had a chance to see those,
Yes.
but it was absolutely incredible. And what astonished me was that course, it went from Halsey Island to Bertrand's Island. It's a huge course. And there were several boats that got lapped, which I found shocking, but I saw it happen. So they're supposed to hopefully do that next year.
Oh,
And I hope that it becomes an annual thing, and it kind of brings people together. And somebody said it was actually, you could log on the web and you could get like a play-by-play. I didn't know that, but somebody said afterwards, so you could actually get some context as to who the leaders are and, times and winners. And so it was really exciting. So I hope it comes back. Any questions or comments?
Any questions, anybody?
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Dan. Moving along to committee reports, I'm going to just talk about a few things. I do want to thank first the Environmental Commission and the Beautification Committee for all the lovely decorations that we have throughout the town, throughout the municipal building. They spend a lot of time and a lot of effort putting them together, making sure they work, and then hanging them. Thank you, just absolutely thank you. We had an affordable housing meeting this week on December 1st, and it was very productive. Our other attorney, not Mr. Lavery, Mr. Baldwin was with us. We have a productive meeting with Fair Share. There's going to be another meeting on December 23rd, hoping that we get some type of a Christmas present when it comes to having to deal with the numbers for affordable housing. But right now, that's where we are. Our next meeting that we're having, we will be incorporating our engineer in that meeting, which was not in this current meeting. So we're hoping to get some positive outcomes that come from that. I do want to mention that there is a moratorium on new water connections. That direction came directly from the borough engineer. With our water system that we do have, they have not in several years done a grouping of testing that they do. And until that is completed, they cannot give us any new water connections until that time. There's always the possibility that the moratorium stays in existence if they find that there are some issues that we can't take any new customers. It's happened many times throughout Hopacon's water history, but for right now, there is that moratorium that's there. That's all I have for now.
Can I ask a quick question about the moratorium? I know that
Sure.
there's a home in town that their well ran dry. They are not able to drill for another well, and they are without water. So what do people in that situation do?
Those people would be reaching out for the engineer, John Rushkey, because he would take into consideration all of the different factors that fall into that. And he would know from the information they're getting from their well company, whether or not something else could possibly be done. So I would suggest them reaching out directly to John Rushkey.
Also, Christine is also on the meeting. She needs to be unmuted. Christine Smith.
Tell them, excuse me.
Christine's been added as a co-host, so she can unmute when needed.
Also in reference to the moratorium for the water, the memo does specifically talk about the fact that the factors influencing the borough's ability to meet its current and future demands on the water system. So we do have several galvanized water mains and services that are prone to frequent leaks. This infrastructure needs replacement due to reduced amount of unaccounted for water. The borough currently has 4 municipal wells that are out of service. Reactivating these wells requires substantial capital investment to reduce the PFAS levels at those new locations. Water levels in several active wells are dropping due to current drought conditions. When water levels drop too low, the well must be taken offline. All active wells within the water system must be available to meet the current demands. Improved maintenance schedules and operational improvements are being evaluated to increase overall systems and their reliability. So once the engineer has the reports in reference to the water system, we will have that. And again, they will take into consideration whether or not we have the ability to do any new water connections, because the responsibility that we do have is to the current water system customers that we do have, which is why the resident can reach out to John Rushkey, the engineer, about their specific situation. And that was all I had. Anthony?
Nothing new tonight.
Jennifer?
So for Municipal Alliance, we met on November 10th. We have a movie night planned for next Friday, the 12th, starting at 7 o'clock in the high school auditorium. The movie is Elf. Doors open at 6:30. Movies start at 7 p.m. There are going to be snacks available for purchase by project graduation of 2026. Their next meeting is January 12th at 6 p.m. here in council chambers right now. For the school, the spring musical is scheduled for April 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. It is 7 p.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then 2 p.m. on Sunday. They're going to be performing Mamma Mia. So if you're a big ABBA fan, woohoo. As for recreation, Santa's going to be riding around starting at 8 o'clock on Saturday, December 6th. The tree lighting is at 4:30 at the gazebo, followed by photos with Santa until 7 p.m. The menorah lighting is on December 14th, which is the first day of Hanukkah, and it is at 5 p.m. out at the gazebo. There is a Devils game March 3rd, 2026. Tickets start at $57.93 per ticket. And you want to go to www.gofivo.com/event/hopacom. Transportation is on your own, and the next recreation meeting is December 9th at 7 p.m. The borough's open space and recreation plan is being updated and needs community input. The survey is open until December 22nd and is available on the borough website and Facebook page. And I attended the New Jersey League of Municipality conference 2 weeks ago. I sat in on about 15 sessions where I learned a lot about grant opportunities, up-to-date policies and ethics, and visited numerous vendors on the vendor floor where we were able to discuss our ideas and get information. It was a very fruitful conference, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot of where we need to kind of get some of our plans together. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Steve? Rachel?
I want to start off by thanking the HOPAC on PBA 149, in addition to the police department and the fire department and the other various organizations who helped with the Thanksgiving meals. And especially, shout out to Judy Wolf, who kind of coordinates all that behind the scenes. They did an absolutely tremendous job this year and were able to provide close to 400 meals this year. So it's a great community event, and I'm, really happy that we have them here to lead something so positive. The only other thing I have is my takeaways from the league. Aside from the classes that we attended, it's what's blaringly obvious is that we are really lacking on grant funding opportunities, and there were a ton of vendors that we had conversations with on where we are lacking. And I think that's something we really need to be more proactive with. If that means that we need to collaborate with former council and former mayors, former mayor Mike Francis, this is something that he was absolutely great at. And I think we need to really lean on the people that were here before us, because we can't help move the borough forward if we don't fully know what we're doing. And we can always learn something from the people who were here before us. So I really would like for our council for 2026 to make grants a bigger priority, because again, at the end of the day, it's only hurting the town, all the opportunities that we're missing. That was it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Christine is on too.
Christine? Yes, thank you.
I'm
Christine?
here, but the only thing I have is we did have some interest in real estate. And I forwarded it to you, Marie, and to Rachel for that. And I'm working on a couple of hometown hero situations, which will be cleared up by the end of the year. We also have one person that is moving away and taking their banner with them, which I think is a lovely comment to how important it is for these people to have these banners. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the administrator's report, I just have a few things. If anybody has noticed, the steps at Crescent Cove have been replaced. That has been a long time coming, so thank you to DPW for doing that. I do want to call out DPW for the storm that we just had. Our new superintendent, Carl, this was his first snowstorm. And he had salting operations begin at 4:30 a.m., finishing at 6:30 a.m. They began plowing at 12:30 and finished at 3 p.m. and then had a final salting from 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. There were approximately 3 inches of snow. They also ordered decorative streetlights that were knocked down on the River Styx Road, which will be here at the end of February for the installation in March. They put up the holiday wreaths and the snowflakes on the light poles, replacement of our water main on Cornell. As you all know, the replacement on Cornell Way, we have had phenomenal leaks on that. And the last meeting, I believe it was the last meeting or the meeting before that, we had an emergency appropriation to actually do the repair on Cornell Way. So that is completed, and hopefully that helps us with our water system and some of the issues that we have been continually having. There was a repaired sewer force main on Lakeside Boulevard that was completed. And there were 2 separate water leaks that they did, and that's just within just the last 2 weeks. And that is all that I have for the administrator's report. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Make a motion?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? The meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that is on the agenda and off the agenda. Would anybody like to speak? Sure, Lynn. 1 second, Dave.
I'm sorry, guys. Mine's. Lynn Rickey. This is now the 3rd time I am raising these concerns. I contacted the mayor privately in January. I spoke publicly in June, and here I am again because the issues have only intensified. Despite being a council manager form of government, we continue to see the mayor act outside the boundaries of that structure. The repeated pattern of not following the strong manager system, interfering in administrative functions, and the disregard of the checks and balances of this form of government is unacceptable. Equally concerning is the ongoing pattern of rude, dismissive, and unprofessional behavior towards constituents and our council members. This is not leadership. This erodes trust and drives away employees who deserve a respectful workplace. We are now experiencing the highest attrition this borough has ever seen in years, with key employees leaving at an alarming rate. That alone should signal a leadership failure at the highest level. At the same time, we have seen little to no meaningful increase in revenue and have no clear strategy from the mayor's office to move us towards a long-term, financially stable community. I also want to address the new borough attorney. It is your responsibility to advise the mayor on her role and the legal limits of authority. When the mayor oversteps, it is your duty to intervene. The lack of corrective guidance is contributing to this dysfunction that we are seeing right now. The borough deserves competent, respectful, lawful leadership. And what is happening right now has to stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Dave?
I was just curious as far as the road decrease, the JKL, something like the whole alphabet. M. What is involved? Because we've spoken about Flora before.
Correct.
Is now Flora going to be paved? Because we talked about it next year.
Yeah, these are 2026 projects, and this is it. We extended the grant previously. That's what we did last time. So what this is we're approving change orders that are on them. Some of them are decreases, and legally we have to approve that change order for the amount of money that the decrease is.
Right. So like DuPont, they spent less money on DuPont than they had appropriated. Was that what that is?
If DuPont is listed on here as one of these, yes, then that's what it is.
Yeah, it's on M.
Yes. Yes.
So we saved money. That's good.
That's good. Yes, it cut cost, which is, yes, it cut cost, which is less.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. And I also thought it was very nice to be Thanksgiving participation of the police and the other organizations. It's really nice to have these different groups work together for the community.
Yeah. Thank you.
Evening, Mayor, Council. Mayor, we had an opportunity to interview. I just wanted to introduce myself formally to the council. My name's Rich Bartlett. I'm going to be, come January 1, your new OEM coordinator. I come with 25 years of emergency experience, both as a EMT, I'm a state certified fire official. I'm also a dispatcher I come with background from municipal and hospital emergency management. Notably, one of the events I was participated with was Superstorm Sandy down in Teterboro, where I was the EMS branch director for 2 operational periods at the reception center. So I'm not just a municipal side, but I also have a healthcare side. I'm looking forward to working with the governing body because ultimately it's us working hand in hand, the other town officials, the police department, Rob from the ambulance squad, who I'm familiar with. So I'm looking forward to, I just wanted to take an opportunity to introduce myself. And unfortunately, I will not be here for the reorganization meeting because I will be at work. But I will avail myself to you guys as necessary.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This will be your work, so you should be here.
Yeah.
Just joking.
It doesn't pay the mortgage though, so. But I will, after the new year, I'll sit down with you guys and we'll go over contact and stuff like that. But I look forward to working with all of you.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone else?
Rob Bauer, Captain, Hoboken Ambulance Squad. Happy after Thanksgiving and before the holidays, for always in that middle thing. I come before you, I wanted to formally ask for an audit of the LoSAP program. LoSAP program is the Length of Service Appreciation Awards. It is for the volunteers. It is really the only volunteer perk that they get. It's a 401k program. So based on a point system, it's based on participation. They get points, they earn them. The borough then makes a deposit on their behalf into Lincoln Financial, and then they get to ride that until their retirement, and they get to keep that, all right? It's not a big number. We have had several issues with that program on the ambulance squad. I'm a numbers nerd, Jen knows that. I have now in the 3rd year of having problems. Some of it is caused because we've gone through so many CFOs. Totally understand that part. But what you guys are approving as the bill is not getting to the people's accounts. I have several occurrences that this has happened. So it's going from the borough to Lincoln Financial. So it's not a borough kind of thing, but there's a problem at Lincoln Financial. I have spent over a year trying to rectify this. I have countless emails to the multiple CFOs. I've reached out to the council people, Jen and Rachel, as our liaisons to try and get help. The current CFO is refusing to help. I have asked for a consolidated report to show the deposits that were made on behalf of the borough to the individuals. We don't have that many between the fire department and the ambulance squad. It's under 100 people. You can do it in a 10-minute check. Lincoln, I was told by the CFO, I have to call Lincoln. I'm not the administrator of the program. So when I talk to Lincoln, they're like, you're not the administrator. I can't give you that information. When I ask the CFO for the information, she's refusing to give it to me. So now I'm in this circular conundrum. I have multiple people that have not had a deposit for now 2 years. The borough approved the LoSAP program, the amount, I think it was in August.
Mm-hmm.
Money hasn't hit the accounts yet. Again, I was able to at least get enough information from Lincoln because I provided them with the names of who was on my list. And she checked back and she actually put like, somebody did get a deposit, which was odd that 1 or 2 people out of the entire group got it. Fire department has more people, but no one is checking this, right? So it's like I submit my paperwork to the borough and I'm done. I never get something back that says, yes, these people now have these deposits, right? The individuals have to check their account. And I know all of you who get paychecks never check, is every single deduction correct on your paycheck, right? So this is a once a year application of this deposit, which is usually 3rd quarter, which is very late, but they don't check it. So the only way I find out about it is now in January, because we're how many days from January, when I go to submit the new year information, I don't have that person on file. But I sent a deposit and an application the year before. So I'm a whole year off. Every time we do this, we can't fix it for a year. So I'm really asking the mayor and council, we need an audit done. It can't take long. It's literally take the paperwork or the sheet, because we do the same type of reporting, the people and the percentage for at least 3 to 5 years. And check that what you guys have approved as funding actually got to where it was supposed to go. Because otherwise, it seems that somewhere there's money that's not being applied to these people's accounts. And again, like I said, this is the only perk that the volunteers get from the borough. Can we please get it right? Thank you.
Again, we will do everything to look into it. I will certainly reach out. I don't know if we can get an answer to you quickly, unfortunately. I apologize for that. So what you're basically saying is you have no way of checking to see if this has gotten to Lincoln, because Lincoln won't allow you to have that information.
They say because it has a social security number. I don't need a social security number. So I have a list of names that I submitted. We're doing this round robin thing with emails. So Lincoln, I gave my list of people from last year. So they earned it in 24. It gets paid to them to their account in 2025. It's what you guys approved. I asked Lincoln, hey, I'm going to give you the names. I don't want to see social security number. Just check the box next to the person if they got the deposit. Probably 90% of them don't have it.
So I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah.
So the audit, I think, is a good idea. And I've been, as you know, I've been involved with LoSAP since the first day. I am also a little bit puzzled by how late the deposit was made. And it should be very easy. You know, the CFO is the administrator of the account, and they should be able to tell you where the deposit went and who got it.
Right. I
That-
read the
I mean,
information
that's
probably by the third week in January with the application. So everything is done
Yeah.
at that point. There's not a lot to do.
We'll certainly look into it to get answers. Again, I don't have any answers for you. I apologize.
Right. The urgency for it is we're at the end of 2025. In 5 weeks, I submit 2025. I still don't have 2023's information right. So now we're just continuing the problem. So the same people that they didn't have the deposit right from back then didn't get this year's deposit, and now they're not going to get next year's deposit. But also, not only is it just the money, it's the earnings on that money. So, hey, if it was a horrible year and we got nothing with the markets, nobody really says anything. But if you have a good year in the markets,
Right.
who's going to fess up and be like, hey, we screwed up and we owe you at least something additional for screwing it up?
So, but you're saying, so we're approving the money. The money is going from us to Lincoln Financial and somewhere
I think.
within Lincoln.
I don't see it. So I know you guys, you get the total package to approve for
It's in our bills list, correct?
and it gets over there.
We approve
But
it.
if I have members that I submitted with the applications, the amounts, all that, and either one of two things, they didn't get to the totals that you saw, or it did, and the check was written to Lincoln Financial, no one's doing that matchup to make sure that A equals B equals C. So that now, because I won't find out about it until I get the new report. So Steve and I both get the report, one for the fire department, one for the ambulance squad. And they say, hey, next to the person's name, put the new deposit. Well, if I don't see the name, it means they didn't process them the year before. It's the only time I know about it. So that then starts the inquiry. Where is this person?
So let's use you as an example. Did you get a deposit?
I did not.
Did you get a deposit for last year?
I did last year,
full amount.
full amount.
So, I mean, it's obviously, the CFO just needs to call up to Lincoln and find out the
May
printout.
I actually address this?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to address this? I've been going back and forth with you for how many times? Okay? Emails back and forth.
Months.
Personal calls from Maria Palmieri, who told me she spoke with you and told you that I am right. I do not have access to individual accounts. She even said that she spoke with you and you were not very nice to her. Okay, and she told you the same thing. People have to go on and look at their own accounts.
He
It's a-
even gave me,
it's-
but that's
it's a
a
legal
cop
problem.
out.
Let's-
So
let's-
So for you,
Let's
it's not a
relax, let's
cop out.
relax.
So for you to come to say that I did not do my job, you're wrong. And I sent you everything that I had that I got from Maria. So let's back up a bit.
We're gonna look into it. We'll certainly look into it.
I just want to address that one comment.
Okay,
So Maria, who's from Lincoln,
okay.
I gave her, she wouldn't give me the information to do my own work. She asked if I could give her information.
Okay,
So I gave her the list. She then sent back the list and said, no, didn't get a deposit, no, didn't get a deposit, didn't get it. So why would I have my members now call Lincoln to get the same answer that I just got from the person that's
Well,
administering the program?
That, and she wouldn't give me the information because of the social security numbers.
No, she
Okay,
did.
right?
She
Okay.
actually
Well, and
responded.
she said I couldn't do it. I couldn't go on for that reason. So when I cut a check and I provide the list, it goes to Lincoln. I have no control over deposits, and I told you that,
And I get that,
okay?
but there needs to be control there.
Well,
for
I don't
a-
control Lincoln.
No,
So for you to come to say that I'm not doing my job and not being cooperative, you're wrong about that.
there is for a broken process that it's not
Well, you
being
can call it that,
balanced.
but don't blame the CFO when I'm doing my job.
no,
But-
absolutely,
But
absolutely.
as the,
I do that.
I'm-
We're gonna end real soon.
And I
so-
can show the
I'm
email,
saying,
how you're not very
Yes.
nice in the emails too. I could show them that
because my
also.
frustration has
I
been for
understand it. You don't think I'm
multiple
frustrated, that you
years.
keep on bothering me all the time, and I'm trying my best, and I'm.
I know,
trying-
I know. And I know
Let's calm down. But you know what? This sounds like this is easily solvable, right?
Yes, it
We
is.
can get to Fidelity and get
Yeah.
them to give, I don't see why they won't give a list of who the money went to. Like, I understand the social security numbers, but there's no reason why
Mhm.
they can't give a list and say, who's the, because if
It's
they've
not
got
a
the
big
money,
list.
why did it not make it into the account?
Well, the
So,
list is generated by
Right,
us.
they won't
Right,
do it.
but we give it,
They
but they
won't
should
do
be
it.
able to, if they're making the deposits there, right? They should be able to tell us that, yeah,
Yes.
we put them into each of these individual accounts.
They
And if
give
they
you
haven't,
one
they owe us an
sheet,
explanation as
they
to why
don't
they
go
haven't.
back, and they don't go back. And part of the
So
problem, like
fix
he
it.
said, it was in such bad shape when I came aboard.
I
You
agree.
can't believe the amount of work that I put on. I put into.
I
those
agree.
guys, Big time.
You didn't start it. You definitely didn't.
We're
start it.
definitely gonna look into it. We certainly have, like the attorney has said, it might be just a simple fix. It might just be
I
something.
can help out also.
And we'll
with CFO.
certainly look into it after.
Because if I could find errors with my group, betting the fire department has them too. And it's not a slight against either one of the groups. It's just that we've been following it so much more closer because we identified issues years ago.
Mhm.
And we're following it through where I don't know if anybody's come to you on the fire department
We have
side to
guys
say,
that
hey,
say-
we got an issue.
Right.
And being able to
Right.
like look further into it. Yeah.
Right. Good. We'll
Thank
look
you.
into, you got it, Rob. Thank you.
Rob.
Does anyone else have a comment? Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back.
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Moving on to the approval of the minutes, approval of the November 5th, 2025 regular minutes.
A motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes, sorry, it's muted.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Thank you. In correspondence, you have the tax collector's report. Moving on to resolutions, 2025-194, the approval of the hiring of the omnibus driver.
A motion.
For discussion, this is the driver that is taking the place of Marty. It is a part-time position. Marty was a full-time position. This is a part-time position. As sad as we are to see Marty leave, I have met the new bus driver and she is a very nice person who I think is going to work out very well in the position. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
2025-195, the approval of hiring a temporary building inspector.
All motion.
Second.
Can we talk about this?
Discussion?
Yes. I think I had asked about the salary and for how long this is gonna be, because it's temporary.
This is a temporary position. Our building subcode official is having a procedure and will not be here, so it is a temporary time until his return.
And what is the salary, the hourly salary?
It's $50 an hour.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2025-196, approval of the hiring of a part-time dispatcher.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Not hearing any. Roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2025-197, approval extending LTI Incorporated for landscaping services, bid 23RR-07. This is an extension of the 2026 and going into 2026.
So this is for 2 years. So this is for 26 and 27.
We're extending the contract going into 2026. And
We're extending it from 25 into 26.
yes,
Well,
yes, it's
it
just
was
us extending it, yes, into.
2 years. So I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any. Hear the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2025-199, authorizing the contract through the Educational Service Commission of New Jersey Cooperative for a contract vendor.
Just skip 198.
Yeah.
Oh, 198, sorry. 2025-198, approve the hiring of building maintenance worker.
I'll motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2025-199, authorizing the contract through the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Contract Vendor.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2025-200, approval of a refund of a tax overpayment for block 31303, lot 9.
I'll motion.
Second.
Discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yeah.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
You. 2025-202, the approval of a refund of a tax overpayment and cancel future taxes for block 50608, lot 8.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2025-203, award state aid project for Floor Ave resurfacing project, Tilcon extension.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2025-204, award state aid project for Floor Ave resurfacing project / Dan Swayze and Son extension.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Moving on, 2025-205, authorizing a change order, which is a decrease to contract with Tilcon for Kansas Way, Adelphi Trail and Rollins Trail roadway improvements project.
Motion.
Second.
I just wanted to point out, I don't know if the resolutions are online, but this is a decrease of $49,138.63. That's the change order. So that's like almost $50,000. Just so
Any more discussion? Not hearing any, roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
yes.
Mr. Kusivic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Thank you. 2025-206, authorizing a change order, which is again another decrease to contract with Tilcon for DuPont Ave resurfacing road project. And this decrease is a $31,378 decrease.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. 25-207, award the contract to Acclaim Inventory.
The motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, so this is a fixed asset inventory, and I know that Shauna provided me with a great deal of information when I talked to her last week about it. When I was down at the League, I attended a session with our municipal planners, Van Cleef. They are offering a service called an asset management plan, which I did speak to them, and they could make part of our master plan since we are in the process of doing our master plan. I don't know how much it would be. That was something that I know that I had wanted to discuss in a work session for projects for next year. I feel like this is somebody that's gonna come in and like put barcodes on all of our computers, our file cabinets, and like, you know, fixed assets. In an asset management plan, they would be, it's such a broad scale, it's the whole municipality. All of the cars, all of the trucks, all of the fire hydrants in town.
It's all the infrastructure.
Well, it's fixed and not fixed, like it's everything from soup to nuts. And like I said, I did speak to them about making it part of our master plan. And they said they would absolutely do that, obviously not for free, it's not like pay for it, but I pay for everything. So I don't know what the point of doing, you know, there's like a lack of obviously communication between kind of which is why I think, you know, I wanted to have the work session was to talk about something like this on a broader scale.
So this specific resolution is a recommendation from our auditor, Nisavacia, that is coming directly through the CFO. This is something that's been done in Hopakon for several years. It has not been done for the last 2 or 3 years that I'm aware of. And the recommendation was to have this company do it since they've done it in the past, and the cost is $5,000.
And I don't think this overlaps, it overlaps very little with what Van Cleef was talking about. I was in that same session. And I think that, you know, as a long-term goal, I think that could be very, very beneficial, but that's a long-term project. That's not something that's going to be real quick.
No, well, it would be part of the
Right.
master plan, which we're doing
But the
anyway.
point being though, there's not a lot of overlap here with what it is that we need to accomplish with this. So I don't think we're wasting any money by going ahead with this inventory management as compared, even if we were to go ahead with the Van Cleef somewhere down the road.
And this is for proposal is for $3,400. Okay.
And it's assets over 5,000, so they're not doing file cabinets and computers and all that stuff.
Oh, it's assets.
And they do
over
the trucks
5,000.
and all that stuff. And a lot of towns use them.
Oh, I'm not worried about the company. I just wanted to do it on a much broader scale where it was, you know, everything.
No, I can understand that, but the only thing is, this really has to get done because you want to get rid of an order recommendation.
This is a
Got it,
recommendation.
got it.
They have to
Okay.
start soon.
I hear you. All right.
Any more discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Thank you. 25-208, authorizing a transfers between certain budget appropriations for the 2025 current fund budget pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-58.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a discussion, but I don't know if it needs to be in public. We're moving, it says $35,000 out of our streets and roads, O&E. That's right? 35,000?
Yes.
That money, is that inclusive of salt? Of our salt budget?
No, what happens is that we actually have enough money for the salt.
Okay,
I looked at that today. We were looking to spend 120,000. We're gonna start with 60 and see where that takes us. But I had to make these transfers at the time. Basically, the responsibility and the right of the CFO is to look at the budgets, the amounts of the budgets, and when money is needed, you have to make the transfer. And part of the problem that we ran into was that the solid waste was out of control this year.
I thought we saved a lot of money with our
No.
solid waste contract.
No, as a matter of fact, what they were doing was they were charging the Sussex County Municipal Authority and Suburban to all different accounts. Okay, and when I looked at the solid waste, they were charging Sussex County Municipal Authorities there. I took that amount, but they were actually charging a lot of those bills to streets and roads. That should not be. It should be one solid waste account. And that's why we need money in it.
This is again, a recommendation that came from the CFO and from the auditor.
Oh, I know, but I got an email today that basically said that the salt budget was depleted. And I was like, well, why are we moving money out of streets and roads if we don't have any?
Well, when
money
this
in our-
was done at that time, I didn't have a request for salt. Don't forget. what I
Didn't we
did-
just save $31,000 on DuPont?
Well, yeah,
That's actually
but
grant
that-
money.
that
That's not a
that's
budgeted
grant.
line item,
Okay.
it's operating.
Okay.
So at this time, when we have this meeting, this is done almost 2 weeks ahead of time, I
Yeah.
guess, give or take,
But
right?
you're saying we have enough money in the salt budget? is
For
what-
the salt right now, we do, yes.
Gotcha. All right, thank you. That's all.
Any other discussion?
That's-
Not hearing any, roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
2025-209, authorizing the correcting of personnel records.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2025-2010, the approval of the bill list.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I need one bill polls. That is 25-01961.
Okay. Can I have the roll call?
For the whole bills list except for that one.
Yes, minusing the, yes,
I'll motion.
Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
And can I have a motion for 25-01961
Motion.
Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Abstain.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Introduction of ordinances, 12-2025, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing the Hopatcong Borough Code to create Chapter 85 entitled Business and Residential Rental Unit Registration.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 13-2025, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, amending the range of salary and compensation for the special police officers.
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kusevich. Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 14-2025, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 224, Section 224-13 of the Township Code entitled Towing and Storage Fees.
Motion?
I'll second it, but I have a question on this. These fees, as outlined on here, these roll over from prior years?
This is actually updating our towing fees to what they are currently in other municipalities and what's being charged. It's really a housekeeping, because if we don't make the towing prices the same as what other towns are charging for towing, we're not going to have people that can tow for us, because we're charging below what everybody else is.
Okay.
So they're not going to come and
So
work
it is
for
to
us.
measure it with other.
Yes, and it was a recommendation from the chief. It wasn't something that we came up with.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Not hearing any, the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kusevich.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. We don't have anything for old business. The only thing that I would like to discuss for new business is possible dates for interviews for the administrator position. I was looking for something possibly around the week of December 15th and possibly the 16th, the evening of the 15th and the 16th.
I'm good.
Anybody else? Are you?
I'm good.
I'm good after 5 o'clock on Monday. Isn't there land use on Tuesday?
We can still interview somewhere else.
So we're doing what, 15?
The 15th and the 16th possibly.
How many applicants do we have?
As of right now, we have 2 that we're waiting to hear back from and 2 others that we just received.
I'm good.
Anybody else?
Those dates work for me. Is it possible that we can get all the resumes circulated so we have time to review every single one? Not just the ones that are going to the interview process? I mean, I don't know, Mr. Levy, can you correct me if I'm wrong? Because I genuinely don't understand. Should the council see all the resumes that come forward and then we determine who we want to move forward with in terms of interviewing? Because I don't know who picked the interview that took place today, but I know that I was not asked to pick any resumes out of the ones submitted. So what's the process for that?
The process, it's the mayor's appointment, so I would think that the mayor would pick the ones that she felt was appropriate to interview, and then if the council doesn't approve them, then you can move to others. But that just seems to be the most efficient thing, because again, it's the mayor's appointment, and then council has advice and consent.
Okay, then I think what I will request going forward, Mayor, is that we can get more than 24 hours notice for any interviews going forward, which I understand we're doing now. But for instance, having a medical emergency today, which I could not be present for, I did miss the interview that took place today, which I would have loved to have been there for. But 24 hours does not suffice. And I think it would be very much appreciated if we took consideration to our schedules, which I understand, which is what we're doing now.
That is what we are doing. We did have 2 applicants that were supposed to be on the interviews today. However, they declined the employment or to even be interviewed for Hopatcong after making the dates. And then we were trying to fill them. And that's why there was short notice. And I did apologize for that in my email. And I didn't want to waste the time that we had allotted for it. So again, I apologize for that. And the resumes for the candidates will get out earlier for the next interviews. So those dates work. Okay, so that's great. So we'll work towards that. Can I have a motion to open it up to the public?
I have new business as well, actually. Is it possible that I can request a motion to schedule a work session for the next council meeting, please? Because I do think it is absolutely imperative before we enter into the full-blown budget season. The council needs to get on the same page about what our goals and priorities are for 2026 so we can take into account from a budgetary perspective what we're actually allocating funds for. We have ideas that come up throughout the year, which is fantastic. But as we heard from Shelby earlier this year, a lot of these ideas we don't plan for. So it's impossible to get things done when they just kind of come up on the fly. And I think until we can kind of get into a groove of being on the same page, I would almost push for a once a month work session just to make sure that we are moving in the right direction and everybody remains on the same page so we can actually work to achieve something in 2026.
Any discussion on that?
I think before the 17th, I think that we should, since we're doing the administrator interviews the 15th and 16th, to have a work session before the meeting on the 17th to discuss, because I know we were supposed to have a work session today, that didn't happen. I think that it would be in our best interest with the CFO present too, so that she kind of has an idea of what our path is forward and the goals that we want to achieve in 2026. Even with cannabis, Shelby had said to me, why did you wait until April to talk about cannabis? You didn't budget for any of this. And I said, well, Judy came in March. We had to get a budget together. It was very, we had to get the budget together. And she was kind of like, yeah, you're right. So, it was really her suggestion to have the work session to get all of our projects. I know you have stuff that you want to work on. I know you have stuff that you want to work on, and all as the governing body getting on the same page. And I know Rachel has some stuff. I definitely have stuff.
And I think right now, though, the priority is.
Agree, 100%, the administrator. But I think that the other priority is getting on the same page with the CFO as she's going into budget season to hear what the governing body, the projects that we'd like to accomplish in 26.
I think the priority should be administrator. We could talk all we want, but until we get the administrator and everybody on board, and our target should be to keep the administrator, not to run him out of town.
No,
So
Steve, but we can do them in tandem respectfully, but Shelby had too much guidance because we all had ideas. And this is more impactful for us as a governing body to govern as one body, agreeing on the path for the town for 2026 and what we would like to see achieved. We can continue with the interview processes. That will not be disturbed. And we are able to have a work session without an administrator present. But there's no sense in overwhelming a brand new administrator and scaring them off with 1,000 ideas when we can welcome a new administrator and give them a plan of what we would like to see and prioritize that for them. That will be more helpful to them, going to them with clear cut direction on what our goals are.
nobody has 1,000 ideas, but whatever.
In my opinion, I really think that having a work session without an administrator is not productive, because that administrator needs to hear the ideas, to see where things are going, to see if those things are even possible for us to do, to have a meeting discussing ideas. And I agree with Rachel that it has to take place. I just don't know if doing it right now is the right thing to do without the administrator, only because the administrator might come in and some of what you're talking about and ideas that you have might actually not be able to come to fruition. And therefore, all of what you discussed in the time, I don't want to say you're wasting the time, but having the administrator here to hear and see what everybody's passions are and what they're looking for, that's what having the administrator is for, so that they are aware of what the council wants to do and can hear all of those things while they're actually transpiring.
I understand.
Priorities that we need to address. Administrator, of course, is one of them too. And I do agree with the fact that not having the administrator in the room during that work session is going to not be a great use of time. So I do agree that from a budgetary perspective, for those things that we'd like to get accomplished that we think are going to cost some dollars, we'll have to do that. We'll get that done, early in January, where it still can, we can still get it into the budget, but right now the focus needs to be on getting the administrator in and taking care of some of the other things that need to be dealt with quicker.
I just don't want to hear again this year that we had to get the budget done. There was no time to meet and discuss these things. And then we've lost another year.
Well, we don't want the budget to take as long this year as it did last year either. Unfortunately, though, the fact that we've lost the administrator now does set us back quite a bit, right? I think we'll still overachieve where we were last year. Everybody's working hard to go do that. But I think our focus needs to be on getting the administrator in, getting everything stabilized and moving forward again, because we've lost a lot of time this year.
I think Serving as a council member, we all know how much time, energy, and effort we put into this role. And I think there is no harm, no foul in having any type of public work session. Hell, I would volunteer for 2 work sessions a month just because we know the conversations and how in-depth they get with this governing body in itself. We don't accomplish anything in one meeting. And that's because we have a lot of opinions. We need to start pushing these work sessions now because we're not going to achieve anything at the next one. Let's be honest. These conversations need to start before an administrator is present, and the public needs to hear the dialogue about where our head is at and what we're doing, because we're in these seats because of them. So we're pushing transparency. Let's be transparent about what ideas we have on the table and how we're going to work to achieve them in 2026. We don't need an administrator present, and I really would like to actually achieve something for 2026.
I agree with you, Rachel. I just think that without the administrator here to hear where the council is going and where the passion is coming from at the time of that work session is what's necessary. And a lot of these ideas and things that you're talking about as council actually come out of committees. So the fire committee requests and things that are necessary for the fire department that the fire committee is discussing with the fire committee. The fire committee presents that to the rest of the council. The same thing happens with recreation. Recreation has ideas and things that are happening, and then they go through recreation, and then the recreation representative brings it back here to the governing body, and that's where the governing body gets their information collaboratively, is from the groups and committees. As the groups and committees have information, it comes back to the entire governing body. That's what the whole point of having committees are, that the committees meet, they have discussion, and that representative brings it back, just like we get the information about the schools and whatnot. So having the entire governing body, having all of those individual ideas, that's how we narrow things down so that it's a little bit easier during our discussions. Not to mention, I really feel having the administrator here is just something that's very important while we're doing those discussions.
So we do have a motion on the table for a work session for the next meeting.
I'll second it.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
No.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, moving along to public comment. Can I have a motion for public comment?
Make a motion.
Was it approved? Did you do your motion, open it up to public comments? Is that
It's open to public comment. Well, no, I'm sorry. We didn't get a second yet. I'm sorry.
I'll second. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions?
The mayor appoints the borough administrator solely.
Yes.
The
No, mayor
council
does with
has
advice and
no
consent.
opinion.
No, if you listen to, I said, the mayor appoints with advice and consent of council.
Okay. But
So,
the council meets everybody, interviews everyone, makes their recommendation.
no, the council doesn't do that. The mayor, since the mayor appoints, the mayor could say, I'm gonna appoint Joe Smith, right? And then council, they present Joe Smith's name and then council votes.
And when the
So-
council says no,
Well, then they're gonna have to put another candidate up.
how is that from what maybe I'm an idiot, but I thought our council had more authority over all of the runnings of our borough than the mayor did. And that they do the voting, they consents, they meet, they do all this. And then any decisions that are made where there's a tie, the mayor votes.
That's what the statute says. And
Okay.
everything I'm telling you is what the statute says or what the ordinance says with regard to the appointment of the borough administrator. And this ordinance of OPACCON says, which was here long before I got here, is
Right.
that the mayor appoints with advice and consent. So when I was asked the question, my opinion was, well, since the mayor is the person who appoints, and then the council confirms that the mayor should look through the resumes and recommend who they want to hire. And that's the same not only in this town, in this borough, but in any other town.
And
Because
that's what
the
we did
process.
the last time when we picked the one that left and then the other one that left and then Shelby, who we certified and left. And going forward, if there is not a clause in every offer letter that they receive training, certifications, education monies, and they leave within 1 year, they owe that money back. We're the biggest fools around. I don't know a corporation that doesn't have that clawback clause,
She paid for her education.
I
The
hope
town
she
did not.
paid.
She paid.
but
for it.
going
Right, I'm just
forward,
telling you,
it needs to be
Yeah.
put in an offer letter going forward. You come, you work, you stay a year, we'll certify you.
Right, that's not a bad idea, but I'm just telling you that she paid for her education. Town-
Well, I like Shelby. I'm not
Yeah.
really digging on
Alright.
Shelby, and I would think Shelby would
No,
do
but-
the right, but
And that's not a bad idea to have that.
it needs
yeah.
to be in there. It's, I don't know why it would not be in there, and anyone in employment law should have recommended it a long time ago. Thanks. Have a happy and a merry.
Thank you. Anyone else, Dave?
I was just curious, it seems like we go through a lot of employees, like the clerk, what's her title?
The administrator?
Of the administrator. Is it because we're not offering enough money, or is they're not fulfilling their tasks? What,
I really couldn't tell you. We, for starters, can't discuss personnel issues, but I really couldn't tell you what some of the rationale is of why they choose to leave.
they choose to, we don't necessarily ask them to leave.
No, yeah, that, she was not fired. She left
Oh, I
on
see.
her, over on her own accord. And we can't really talk that much more about it other than that,
Right.
but
Oh,
yeah, she
okay.
left.
As far as the special police officers, are those the policemen in the school system, or where are these special police officers?
We have special police officers that are in addition to our other police officers, so they're almost like retired police officers that come back on to help us with special events, or if they need to have a special police officer at something. Our officers that are in the schools, I don't believe that they classify them as special police officers. These are different officers. You would have remembered them being like court officers and whatnot. They were special officers for that, and they're less expensive than us using our officers, especially with patrols that are happening with New Jersey Natural Gas and things like that. They can take one of our police cars as a special police officer and sit there, and it costs less for them to be there than it does for a regular police officer to be there.
Okay, thank you. One other question, well, I'm like Columbo, I come back. Looking at the personnel records, who does that and what is involved with that? Changing the personnel records?
So what's on the agenda is not a change in personnel records. This specific personnel record, we could not go back and find a resolution for their hire. So what this is doing is housekeeping, so that when there is an issue, we know that we have a resolution that we hired this person, that's what we hired them at. So moving forward, we have an accountability for every employee we have with a resolution that matches.
I see.
The hiring.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yes, Pete.
Breckling. Speaking of police officers, do we still have a Boy Scout police officer program?
A Boy Scout police officer?
Yeah, we used to have the.
You mean the Explorers?
The Explorers,
The
yeah.
Explorers. I do not believe that they have the Explorers happening right now.
Okay.
There's a specific officer that does that.
Oh.
And with a lot of our retirements and things that we have, I don't believe that they have someone for that.
Okay, and I was wondering also about the fire department and or the ambulance squad.
I know the fire department does have like an intern type of program for younger people. They do. And I know the ambulance squad, I believe, Rob, as long as they're 18, they can join the ambulance squad. 17, they can join the ambulance squad. Our Miss Hopakon is a senior in high school, and she sits on the Hopakon ambulance squad.
Fabulous. We grab a couple of these.
Help yourself. Anyone else?
Just one question. Is there going to be a meeting on the 17th of December?
Yes.
Okay, because oftentimes they cancel it.
No, we'll have a meeting on the 17th. Anyone else? Not seeing anything. Motion to bring it back?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? I do not have any mayor's comments for the evenings, this evening, but I do know that we are going to go into executive session to discuss.
Yes, personnel matter dealing with the borough administrator and attorney-client dealing with MayorCouncil statutory duties.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Do you want to do a roll call? Or can we do it all in
You
favor?
can do it all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so this part of the meeting has ended. We are not going to be taking any official action when we come back from executive session.
Can we not say that just in case there is something that comes up with this that we do have to take action after? Can we just leave it open-ended and this way if we don't, then we don't have to?
You could, but then everybody waits around in case there's action. So if they're not gonna take any action, they can all go home because they know that's gonna happen. Because we would only take action on both of those items that we've just listed.
Right.
I
So
mean,
we'll-
it's up to you. I'm just, the
I
only
don't-
thing is, if you're not, if you say you're not, then at least everybody can leave and have a nice night.
Yeah, but
If not, they might wanna hang out.
To make it easier for public, I would say that we're not going to make any action afterwards.
there's not going to be any official action once we come out of executive session, so you're welcome to go. And enjoy your evening. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I'll see you on the 17th.